Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series by Agotapop from her December Tinies on Shelves. We have this very pretty looking Christmas tree cake to colour today. That's what I'm assuming it is anyway. There we go. So, where to start? Well, I think we'll start with our actual cake bit. Or is that just a plate? I think this is the cake. That's how I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to use the gold, a little bit of Golden Sun. Can find it, there it is. To start with for the base of the cake. So this bit here. Oh, I've got hiccups, I'm sorry. Now, if this wasn't on a page of sweet treats, I might just think this was a tree. But because we've got all sorts, every other item on this page is a candy or a cake or something like that, or a cookie, and I think it must be. Okay, so that's quite bright, isn't it? So we need to go to our browns and just dull it down the tiniest bit by using the brown sugar colour. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on. I'm not necessarily trying to do it evenly, because I think if you look at a cooked cake, it isn't always, and I'm going to put some dots as well, isn't always really completely even in its sort of finish and colour. There we go. It's still a bit yellow, isn't it? What I'm going to do is use the bourbon, which I'm going to sharpen to just put in a bit of shadow and some more dots. That should darken it down a little bit for us. So I'm going to put a bit of shadow under this icing. Takes a bit of concentration. And then a few dots and dashes over the cake. And there we have it. Right, our next step is our green. Now we have quite a few different choices for green. I think I'm going to use the jungle green. I'm just trying to find it. It's quite bright. I think it'd be rather nice. I don't think I would do a food colouring this colour myself, but I'm going to just try and fade it as I go down to the edge of our sort of branchy bit area. Like that. So it's a bit fiddly around this ribbon, but basically we want it a bit darker, fading down a bit. And then this one, sort of dark where it's overlapping, and then fading down. I am really thirsty, but I'm very aware that my husband hasn't long mopped the kitchen floor, so it might be a bit wet, but I think I'm going to have to get a drink before I start the next video, or else I will be so dry. I don't tend to keep water in here, which is probably a mistake, but I don't like water very much. I drink it occasionally, but I'd much rather have a hot drink. I think that's a very British thing, to be honest, to like a hot drink. I guess it's not often that warm here, in the summer I guess, but even in the summer I like a warm drink, which is a bit mad, isn't it? Anyway, so I'm trying to just fade towards the edges on all of these. And hopefully it work and look a little bit textured because of having this sort of darker shadowy bit at the top. It's gone very quiet next door. I reckon husband's gone to sleep. He was up till 2 a.m. and he had to get up at 7. But he was doing something which he felt was very satisfying and important, so hopefully he'll think it's worth it, because he said he had loads of telly to catch up on too, so he's probably put it on and nodded off. He's supposed to be making Christmas cards as well, but you know, this is what it is. I've got to write some soon because I'm seeing some people that I need to give them to, so it'll be okay. I tend to get tired, so I can't make videos so much in the evenings, and while I'm editing, if I'm not colouring, I can do things like that. I do prefer to colour, but you know, I like sending Christmas cards too. Right, we have a sort of platter. They're usually silver, aren't they? Cake boards. Well, that's what I think anyway. So, our winter lake. Now, of course, I could have done this with my silver pen. I've chosen to try and do it with pencil. We actually even have a silver pencil in this set, but you know. Then Oxford Grey. Just fade it towards the middle. Hopefully it ends up looking a bit silvery. There we go. Now, bow, it's got to be red, hasn't it? I think so. That's what I want to anyway. And let's go for the scarlet. I'm just going to fill it in with a layer of scarlet without doing anything fancy to start with. And then we can concentrate on some of the details. So this bit I feel always needs to be really dark, and a little bit here and here. All there. Like that. And a bit from each edge. And I'm going to grab a darker red to do a few more details. I use the sangria, and I'll put a bit of shadow either side of the knot where there's bits overlapping. Just a little bit here and there, add a bit more depth to our items. There we go. Now we just need some gold and silver. Now the circles I think I'm going to do in the silver pen. Now I had thought I could do all the circles around the outside of the tree in silver, but like I said in a previous video, I'm not sure that it'll stand out that well. So what I'm going to do is take a red and do the little circles in red. Trying not to stick my finger in the silver, because that wouldn't be good. Then we do the stars in gold. And I'm going to put a bit of snow on the tree as well. I know we sort of got snow around it, but I think we've done it in red. It doesn't matter. Just use my white. Put some snow on the edges of the branches. Yeah, imagine someone dusting this with icing sugar and where the sugar would land. I think it would be on the edges. It doesn't show up massively, does it? It shows them more on the top. Maybe I need to be a bit more persistent lower down. Yeah, that's what it is. Ran out of oomph. Or maybe my pen ran out. One or the other. There we go. I'm going to leave that there. It's quite simple. I like it. Okay, so that is me for today. I hope that you have a super day. I'm off to go and get a coffee. Yeah, I hope you have a lovely time and happy colouring.